Hi, welcome. I'm Danae Shanti, and I'm sharing the teachings of my guides, THEA, the Embodied Ascension Guides. In the month of July here, we're studying balance in all things. Today's July 12th, and this week's practice is, and I am looking at notes from THEA, harmonizing your internal and external worlds. Now, again, you might want to jot down some notes or record some of your reflections because this is an interactive video. So let's pause here and go ahead and get what you need, and I'll see you in a minute. Welcome back. So our topic is harmonizing your internal and external worlds. What does that mean, and why is THEA suggesting that we do this? Let me explain a little bit. Who you are inside, who you know yourself to be, your authentic self, is actually your soul essence. It's who you came in as. Our personalities are kind of like the wardrobe for the soul. It's the design that we get around the world in our third dimensional reality. A lot of times, who we are inside, who we most know ourselves to be, is not who we're actually living on the outside. And so our inside world doesn't necessarily match our outside world. For example, perhaps you're working in an industry you're no longer interested in. Perhaps you have a dream that you've been hanging on to since you were young, and you really want to live that dream, but you're spending your time doing something else. So harmonizing your internal and external worlds is sort of a deep dive into unearthing the truth of who you are and how that can happen in your outer world. So we're going to go into that a little bit now. THEA likes to talk about entertaining ourselves in order to live in harmony. What does that mean? According to THEA's perspective, when we are feeling entertained, usually we're in a joyous state. We're having fun. We're lighthearted. We're elated. And that state gives off a lot of positive energy and vibration. Not only in your own experience, it sort of lights up the people around you and brings that frequency of enjoyment into the world. So THEA is really big on us living in a state of entertainment, being entertained by who we are, being entertained by our lives. Now, this doesn't mean we don't have challenges and struggles in our lives. We are in a human embodiment, and of course we have those challenges. THEA is simply saying, if we lean in with the intention of living in a state of entertainment, chances are good we're going to start to harvest who we are inside and begin to manifest that in our outside world. That's when we're truly shining our light. So we're going to go into a couple of exercises that THEA is bringing forward and to help us feel who we are inside. We're going to go there first. So if you were with us last week, we learned all about connected breathing. We're going to draw on that now. So go ahead and get comfortable. Start to take some deep connected breaths. In and down, all the way fully into your body. And exhale. See if you can come into a state of ease and relaxation. A couple of more breaths. Good. So as you're breathing here, I'd like you to imagine that who you are in the world is actually a character that you play. Your soul is taking on a personality to get along and get out there in the world. So take a point of view that you are a character. And I'd like you to take a couple of minutes to do an inventory for your character. Who do you show up as in the world? What are the thoughts you have? What are the beliefs you have? What do you stand strong for? What do you have opinions about? Where has your history brought you? What are your hopes for the future? All of this is called personality. And your personality is an accumulation of your experiences and part of your ego formation. So this is a good place to pause the video and note your inventory on yourself. Now, this is not self-analysis. You're just noticing. What do you notice about the character of your personality? Here's a clue. THEA tells me to use the word "the" in front of my name. So when I want to tune into my personality, I call it the Danae. Oh, the Danae thinks this. Oh, the Danae has a strong reaction about that. So as you go into this little assignment right now to know who the character of you is, put the in front of your name and give that a go. We'll see you in a few minutes. Welcome back. I hope you had fun with that exercise. I always find it interesting to take a moment to take inventory on the personality that's running the show over here. The Danae can be a pretty colorful character sometimes. I'm sure you'll find that with yourself too. So now we're going to let go of that and tune into the soul, the essence, the authentic presence of who you are. It's kind of like, who are you before you put on the personality and the wardrobe? So this takes a little more imagination and tuning in. So let's return to our breath. Slow, relaxed breath in, exhale out. Let's repeat that a couple of times. Feel yourself relax and settle into your own skin. You already have the capacity to view the character of your personality. Now I want you to imagine that you can drop deep down inside yourself and make contact with the soul essence that you are. Who are you as a pure divine being? Who are you before the personality? This might take some imagination. Go ahead and continue breathing quietly and gently and tune in. It's almost like pulling the camera back to see more deeply inside yourself. Explore who you are as a soul. You might feel some stillness, some calmness. Notice the qualities that are there in the expanse of your soul. Again, this is a good place to pause the video and do an inventory. Well, who do you imagine you are as a pure soul, your authentic, pure beingness? See you in a few minutes. Welcome back. Hopefully by now you've tapped into the idea that you are a beautiful divine soul wearing a personality and a body to get around this third dimensional world in. Now our focus is harmonizing the internal and external worlds that you live. If you take a look at your inventory, you'll see that your soul has certain qualities and ways of being and areas of interest that might be a little different than where your personality is focused and the trajectory your personality is on. We want to be able to close the gap between your internal life and your external life, between the soul essence that you are and the personality character you play in the world. So take a moment now and consider the differences that you're finding, and also consider the alignment and congruence where your inner world and outer world match. A lot of pausing of the video in today's practice. Go ahead and pause the video and take in what you've written for yourself or what you've stated. Welcome back. So have you noticed where your internal and external worlds match? Have you noticed where they don't exactly line up and where they don't match? What's important here is the revelations you're having for yourself, not judgment. Sometimes people get into judgment and think, well, I'm this age now, why didn't I accomplish this 30 years ago? That's not helpful at all. We're just softly looking to see how we can harmonize our internal and external worlds. So you may be noticing that there are changes you'd like to make. Maybe some of them are small and subtle. Maybe some of them are big and dramatic. I want to encourage you not to go for the big and dramatic changes just yet. Once you start tuning into your essence, your soul nature, it's like saying hello to an old friend. And when your soul is seeing that you're starting to put your attention on your within, it starts to respond and give you hints and clues and helps you to cultivate a direction that's more in alignment with the truth of who you are. So, imagine this. THEA says, imagine you cannot fail, you have all the support you need, and you are mostly fearless. Look at your life now, inside and outside, through your soul's eyes. Look at your work, your play, your relationships, your family life, whatever you want to look at. Look at it through your soul's eyes and ask your soul for insights. If there's anything to tweak or lift up or slightly reorganize, ask your soul now for insights to help you imagine and create the harmonization between your internal and external world. Once again, pause your video and see what messages your soul might have for you. Okay, welcome back. Good job. This is a deep work. This is a deep practice this week. I'd like to share what THEA has said to me, and so you'll see me looking at notes. THEA says, when you have harmonization between your inner and outer worlds, there is a feeling of balance in all things, a satiation, a sense that all is well, and that you are on the right track. THEA prefers that you feel this way in your life. It helps to feed your sense of feeling entertained. It's very exciting to take who you are inside and be able to execute that on the outside and have congruence, have your inner world and outer world match. That's a form of entertainment. It's sweet. It's like spiritual entertainment. Having congruence between your inner world and your outer world, THEA says, is an act of creation through intent. Intent is conscious, focused thought and feeling. So, after this video, you might like to spend some time with yourself and further explore this idea of harmonizing your inner and outer worlds. Thanks for joining with me on this practice for this week. Remember, every Thursday evening at 6:30 Mountain Time, we have a live Q&A on the private Facebook group, THEA Guides for Embodied Ascension private Facebook group. So if you practice today's practice during the week, you have questions you'd like THEA to answer, feel free to join in for that live Facebook interaction. If you missed last week's video, it was on creating stability through breath. You can stay tuned here and that will be coming up, or we'll have a link for you so you can find that from July 5th. THEA and I look forward to seeing you in the live Q&A, and on July 19th, our topic will be calling on your soul team. It's a very exciting topic. So thanks for joining me today. Thanks for joining me in the adventure of me growing right along with you with THEA's offerings on Embodied Ascension. And I like to close the way they like to close because I find their words lots of fun. So, in the words of THEA, thank you for your brilliance. See you next time.